Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your December 2018 reading. My name is Camille, and you are watching Millennial Tarot. Before we get into your reading, I wanted to say that I am offering $5 readings for the month of December, just in time for the holidays, so a holiday special. So for any one question, $5. If this reading resonates, and especially if it does not, even more of an invitation to see me personally in my office. All right, so without further ado, this is going to be a 3-card spread, past, present, future, using the Golden Universal Tarot deck. Let's go in and see what's coming up for you. Beautiful bulls this month of December. Okay, one more time. Pull a clarifier here. All right. So, Taurus. Interesting times. Your ruling planet has been retrograde for a while and it's just now going direct. Now, the general theme I'm hearing is that you've had to make some pretty crucial decisions about those things and about those people that are no longer worthy of you. Okay? So it could be a friend, a relationship, a dating situation. We don't have to go deep. It could be a marriage, a job, a situation is what I'm hearing that was just not worthy of you. So whatever you got yourself caught up in, perhaps in the end of August through September and October, that you thought was going to lead you to an ultimate outcome. So you thought it was going to lead to a new job or a new romance relationship or better health or better spiritual health, physical and mental. It did not end up working out that way. And there's kind of some confusion about it, or people left you hanging, or like a lot of loose threads is what I'm hearing, and it might not have completely been tied up, but the path for you is to keep on moving and away from those things that are confusing. And before we get into the cards, one thing I do want to say is, actually I'll show you your cards and then we can speak about it. We're coming into the reading with the Queen of Swords. Recent past that makes sense for you, energies that are setting up the reading. We move here into the 7 of Cups. And then we have an ending position of the 4 of Cups, clarified here by the 6 of Swords. And then we have a bottom of the deck energy of the 9 of Wands. And I'm actually just going to pull one more card here to get the ultimate silver lining. Okay, tough, not a tough month, but these energies are so fraught, you must be exhausted. And again, it's a person or a situation that involved a person. Oh, right, that's what I wanted to see. Happy ending. So, the Queen of Swords, that's you having to make the decision. That's you is the kind of the Aquarius card. It could have been you dealing with an Aquarius, Gemini, or a Libra person. But it's kind of you. You can kind of see it in the picture here, how she has her hands out. Her face is kind of contorted. Her sword is up. She's about to make a decision. And I'm getting that there's a specific person, a specific situation of a specific job. You know what it was. Ooh, it started out fine, turned a little bit ugly. Or turned a little bit confusing. And the Queen of Swords, which is good on you, gave you the ability to kind of see that, to kind of be more aware of it and to acknowledge it and to make the decision to kind of cut it out and move away from it. So then where we're moving towards from that is the 7 of Cups. And the 7 of Cups is this place where, in this reading at least, you're kind of, it's both things to me. So it's both you looking back in retrospect and being like, how could I have been so glamored? So that's what I was going to say about the 7 of Cups. How could I have been so duped? How could I have felt like this was going to be anything? It's kind of like a mirage type of card where you have like equal amount of good things and an equal amount of bad things, right? We can get, the laurels and the jewels and the happiness, or we can get the snake or the dragon. So this is you kind of looking back and saying, I guess what was masquerading as gold actually was a dragon. So it's basically, when we pull it out from metaphors, you're looking back, or December might be a time where you're kind of looking back, and you do have options. The Seven of Cups still does give you the options to move forward, but I'm still hearing that a lot of you are looking back and wondering, how could I have been so fooled or duped, or how could I have thought that it was going to be something when it very clearly was not? And you knew that it wasn't, and you cut it out of your life, you cut the BS out of your life, the person, whatever it was. But still, a little bit of you guys are in this limbo place where you are just confused. And the Seven of Cups is this card of confusion, usually confusion moving forward. But this is, I'm hearing again, this is you kind of retrospecting and looking back. Now, we are in Mercury retrograde season, so for mostly everybody, there's going to be themes of looking back to see what happened. And for a lot of us, our Mercury retrograde is us looking back on what happened during Venus retrograde, your ruling planet, which was retrograde from September all the way up until last week. So, big time rehaul as it has to do with love, as it has to do with our value. And towards the end of that, you clearly saw the people, the situations that were really unworthy of you. You saw the girl, you saw the guy, the job, the situation, the parent, the family member, the friend, and you're like, whoa. And the Seven of Cups is kind of where you are mending your wounds of, like, you were in this, I won't say hallucinatory state, but you were in this different mindset of this is going to be perfect, or this is fun, and then something kind of came crashing down and you had to realize, you know, that person wasn't who they said they were, or the situation really truly wasn't what it said it was going to be, or that what you wanted it to be. So you're in this kind of limbo state. But one thing I do want to say about the Seven of Cups is that you are moving forward, right? And the Seven of Cups is 3 away from the 10 of Cups. And what the 7 of Cups represents is a minor setback for greater gains in the future. So where you may feel like you don't have this person anymore, or you don't have that anymore, and you kind of cut out the fat of your life, and you're kind of whittled whatever situation, whatever part of your life is, you've whittled it down to kind of bones at this point. So you kind of feel like you don't have much. That is going to set the stage for you going forward, because you can't move forward into the 10 of Cups with people who aren't worthy of our love, of our presence, of who we are. And you're mending your wounds. Here we go. 4 of Cups, looking bored, dissatisfied. I'm getting, for a lot of you, it was a high glamour thing. It was going to be a super glamorous relationship, or you thought the relationship could go that way. The job is going to be something that was going to afford you more wealth in a big way, or the situation is something that could afford you. If someone was selling like wolf tickets, they were selling like this big idea, and then it didn't pan out. So now you're back here in kind of the boredom, the monotony. You know, you have your 3 upstanding cups, and the universe is trying to give you more options, trying to get you to see things differently, trying to get you to get back on your feet, moving slowly in another direction, and you're just kind of not having it. So the 4 of Cups was then beautifully clarified by the 6 of Swords. And so out of your apathy, out of your dissatisfaction, and out of your sadness, you do find the strength, and sword to sword, you're just thinking yourself forward here this month, which is apropos, because Mercury. So you're really in this place where out of this emotional doldrum and out of this emotional sadness, you're thinking yourself forward in a way that you're just going to move away from the things that are not serving you. So the 6 of Swords shows someone back up on their feet again. You know, take your time to be upset, take your time to wonder. These 2 people are kind of in these very disempowered states, and then we move up to being back on our feet. So what does this look like actually? So the person in the relationship didn't work out. I'm not going to sit here and sulk about it. I'm just going to keep moving on. Now, whether you move on to find the other person, or you move on to give another area of your life more attention, that is what this looks like. And the 6 of Swords represents moving, and it represents literal travel. So for some of you, this situation, maybe you need to leave your physical house, you need to leave your neighborhood or your state or your city. You actually need to get up and move away, because there's a lot of, the word that came in was a little bit toxicity. We think about the 7 of Cups. We think about how that's a Neptunian card, and Neptune rules delusions, escapism via drugs or alcohol. So toxic person, toxic situation could have turned you into a toxic, trying to deal with it in toxic ways. And then the 6 of Swords is you moving on. Now, we did have a bottom of the deck of the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is this card of protection. It's a PTSD card. It's the card of I'm not letting anyone in ever again. And then that was clarified by this Seven of Wands. So a lot of Tauruses are, even though you moved away from it mentally, no one would say that. You've moved away from it physically. That person's not in your life. You're not talking to them. You've left the job. You've left the place. You left the situation. Like, it's over. But you're still kind of spinning your wheels about how dare they do this to me. You really had to fight for, if it was a relationship, you might have had to fight a little bit for how you thought it was supposed to go, or standing your ground here if it was a job situation. And then we have, all these wands coming up from the bottom out of the fray. We can't really see who they are. It could be 7 different situations. Things are going interesting here, things are going not so well over here, and you're just kind of fighting your way forward. And then that gives way into this more rigid place where you're just kind of like, I'm not going to let anything in. I just want to close up and not trust anyone, not trust any situation. Heavy letdown is what I'm getting here. And this happens. This happens in every single monthly. There's always one person who kind of went through it. And I know it was you guys because your ruling planet was going backwards. And it was going backwards in your opposing sign of Scorpio. It did not work out with the person, with the money. You know what it is for you. And now you're using your energy to kind of fight your way through life. To never let anyone in. To not trust anything. Sure, you're moving away. Sure, the universe is still giving you offers for emotional stability and comfort. And sure, out of the bevy of hallucinatory options and out of the cloud of fog and confusion, there are still some good things remaining. But what's left is this energy of being tense, rigid. You fought so hard that now you can't get your muscles to relax mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So that's why I love how our clarifying card for the whole reading is the World. Talk about being free. Talk about being lifted from illusion. Talk about being, abundant. The World is kind of like an honorary Sagittarius card to me. And the sun just entered Sagittarius. So what I know for you, Taurus, is that while you're carrying the vestiges of whatever this letdown was from October, from November, December gives you the gift to really float beyond it, to really get yourself beyond it, to really feel freer from it. Whether it's because of your own actions, you're taking self-care, or you're being with your family, or you're just deciding to take a deep breath and just choose to let it go. But more what I'm hearing is that the world is going to open up for you. So where you thought you needed this thing, you thought you needed this person, you could have been fighting to make it how you wanted it to be. You were kind of confused about what it was. It was never truly substantiated, right? And you're Taurus. You need things to be real. December then opens up for you. December is like, oh, you thought you wanted that thing from last month? You thought you wanted that person or that situation? Well, you had to move away from it in order to get this much bigger thing, this much grander thing. The job, the person, we don't go through hardships on accident. Nothing is on accident. It's all purposeful. And I'm hearing here that you needed to have this kind of storm. You needed to go through this hurricane because it made you a better sailor. What they say a smooth sea never creates a skilled sailor. So a smooth life doesn't really create a human being with character. So just take that for what it is. Know that what you went through is something that's building you up towards a more lasting and towards a more bigger success. The World's card is also a person. Mercury's in retrograde. All these videos are going to be me stumbling over my words, okay? Because I'm Gemini. So the World card is also a person who has been through it. All these worldly things that have happened, a breakup, losing a job, hearing secrets coming out that devastate you, having to use so much effort to move on. And then once you are moved on, you still can't let go of the memory of why. But also, by the way, The Seven of Wands gives this nice, beautiful picture of all these things that you were fighting against below you. Can't even see their faces. You are the victor, even if it does not feel that way. But after all that, you can arise and emerge much more wise, and you can see these things that once felt very real and in your face, and then once felt like they were insurmountable. And now you're lifted up. You are the world. You can see it from a different point of view. So where you may have been looking at a mountain and seemed like it was impossible to climb, how am I ever going to get over it? What December brings you is not only you climb the mountain, but you're so far high above it that the mountain looks like what? A little pimple. Looks like a little molehill, a little mound. So set your compass towards feeling more open this month. Let the universe kind of open itself up to you. You know, accept the pain that you went through. Do let it go. You know, do go through it if you still have to kind of make sense of it for yourself. But also entertain the thought that that was redirecting you to someplace that's much better for you, that's much more free, much more worthy of you, much bigger. Because the World card is also big, expansive. Sagittarius and Jupiter, huge, expansive. So what felt like a minor defeat or a big defeat then turns itself on its head and becomes this huge, huge life opener. So where you may feel defeated now, what ends up coming out of it is not only one, you are wiser, you are stronger, more confident, but also you get the good things. And what you thought were good, you'll look back and you'll be like, these were my choices? I was looking at this when I could have all, she's looking down the entire world. You're looking at 7 cups, 4 of which aren't really that great. Let the world open up for you this month and know that good things are coming in. I'm sorry for what happened to you, and you know, you should take the time to reel from it if it was confusing or annoying or just frustrating. For some of you, it's not a big thing. But know that what December is going to bring you is what you thought you thought you had to go down this one road, and then the road crumbles beneath your feet. You're like, what now? And then what happens is you get this big expanse of land opening out. And where you narrowed yourself towards this one thing, this one person, this one situation, this one avenue, this one road, here December comes to say, hey, have you thought about the entire world? What about the entire world? It's coming for you, all right? So Taurus, this has been your reading. Of course, if you need something more specific to you, I am here. Once again, $5 readings until the end of December. Because I'm in the mood of giving and it's the holiday season, I want you guys to be able to get this for cheap. That's a little gift for yourself or for others. Of course, I hope that this video finds you well, and I guess that the next time I see you will be in January. So until then, know that if it's not the world, do not accept it. Do not accept the small, petty, small things, no matter how upsetting they were. If it's not the world, it is not yours, because that's what you deserve. All right? Bye.